From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LALATE.
It's a big morning of Mornings LA, direct and live from the shores of Santa Monica, California, with your fourth stimulus check update of 2022. Breaking news across the land, and a lot of it this morning. We'll be going over that major letter released minutes ago, obtained by LA News, about the Build Back Better Act. House Democrats writing the President of the United States minutes ago, saying pass it this week. What does the letter also say? Of all the analysis in today's recording. For stimulus add-on, paying out $80,000 of checks. Viewers are getting them across the board, and the success stories continue to come on in. Have you gotten those checks? Have you gotten your application on file? It's $80,000 of checks. It's live. And I'm going to show you how to get these big sums of money. Also developing details, 6 stimulus. The new equation, oh boy, get ready to roll your eyes. China. Oh, Lord. Here we go. China is now approached by Vladimir Putin to give economic relief to Russia, and this could seize up a major world conflict like you've never seen in the history of this channel. And it's also the issue of 6 stimulus. Recessionary concerns grow across the board, but also inflationary concerns. And the Jay Powell meeting tomorrow and the day after will signal where SS300 is going. It's a lot of developing details. Then we'll go over CR for stimulus, what's happening in the White House. Also, the developing details of third stimulus, the big money for you. The viewers have gotten those big sums of money, and you can as well. And then we'll be looking back at what's happening with several packages happening at the same time. It's a big recording with a lot of major developing details. A major pivot by the White House and the Congress for Build Back Better just minutes ago, number one. 24 hours from now, we're going to see what Jay Powell says for SS300's element of inflation, number 2. And China. China now coming to and a part of the equation as U.S. intelligence obtained by LA News suggests that Vladimir Putin has asked for economic relief from China. All those details and more as a big broadcast heats up from the shores of Santa Monica, California. It's Mornings LA. The toast is toasting, the butter is buttering, and the coffee is brewing. And the toast may be more expensive tomorrow as 6 stimulus heats up. All those details and more as Mornings LA gets underway, starting right now for March 14th, 2022. And good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day. It's March 14th, 2022, and now China is part of the equation for international issues for Vladimir Putin in Ukraine, and also economic issues like your wallet. Oh my Lord, like I didn't need another issue to cover. But also a big issue is this letter. A new letter obtained by LA News for March 14th, 2022. Yeah, it's today. Minutes ago, this letter was sent to the White House, and guess what it's about? Build Back Better Act, BBB. Meantime, those $80,000 of checks paying out. Have you gotten those $80,000 of checks? I'm going to show you how. The recessionary concerns and the inflationary concerns and SS300. In less than 48 hours, you want to tune into this channel. Actually, 24 hours. Tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday, you need to tune into this channel because Jay Powell will tell you what he's doing with inflation. And this is your SS300. All those details and more as we go into a big broadcast. There's a lot heating up in today's recording. I'm excited you're here, but first, let's start with the Build Back Better Act and what you need to know in today's recording. A lot of developing details, and first, we're going to start with that letter. A letter obtained by LA News was released just minutes ago. Yes, for March 14th, 2022, the day started with House Democrats writing to the president a letter. The letter says, pass Build Back Better Act this week. Who sent the letter? House Democrats. Who did not sign the letter? Nancy Pelosi. Who also did not sign the letter? Senators. I'll go over more about the letter and its substance, but this is great news. First, we're going to go over those Build Back Better checks that will be featured extensively in tonight's primetime broadcast. It's a 1-hour special report of Evenings LA, 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. In that Build Back Better Act, there's 3 clusters of checks and 3 add-ons. Let's look at each of them broadly right now. They amount to at least $15,000 across the board. In cluster number 1, hazard pay, earned income tax credit, $4,000 of elder care. Also money for young children, $3,600, the Pell Grant $550 check, and also the $12,500 for the purchase of a new electric vehicle. This first add-on of checks in the Build Back Better for Stimulus Recon comes from the shores of Southern California right here. It got in there via Maxine Waters, just a little bit less than $25,000 for the purchase of your first home. How do you get these checks? Tune in to Primetime's most watched financial news show. It's tonight, 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 7 Central, 8 Eastern. In the second cluster of checks are home repairs and paid leave. Paid leave up to $4,000 to $6,000 a year, and home repairs to weatherize your home. When we look at the second add-on of checks comes from Bob Casey. Just a little bit less than $250 billion of free home health care for seniors and people on disabilities. Then we go to that third cluster of checks, seniors checks, and free internet for all checks. Farmers checks, independent contractors checks. Yes. Seniors getting a lot of checks in the Build Back Better Act. Dental, vision, hearing, lowering the eligibility age of Medicare from 65 to 55, and the Medicaid gap fix. They'll provide years of subsidized private insurance to low-income uninsured people in 12 workaround Republican states, which is par for the course when we're talking about adding checks to the Build Back Better Act. The other checks that will be added in there are MSC, monthly IRS stimulus checks, that are sent out from IRS to you, the same as a third would. So who would get them? Tune in to Primetime's most watched financial news show tonight, Evenings LALATE. I'll go over these MSCs more in detail. But here's what you basically need to know. Single individual, $75,000 less, you get it. Married couple, $150,000 less, you get it. Double it. Family 4, quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, VA benefits, you get as well. $2,000 the first month, $1,000 thereafter. And this is among the legislation that will be added to the Build Back Better Act that already has big checks in there, $15,000 to $60,000 of checks across the board. The day started with LALATE obtaining a major letter. It's this letter. March 14th, 2022, today started with a letter from House Democrats to the White House urging the passage of the Build Back Better Act. The letter's not signed by Pelosi, and it's not sent to senators. My opinion of the letter is the following. 1, good. It's good news for you, keeping the amp up on the situation. Number 2, not signed by Pelosi because Pelosi understands the Build Back Better Act was passed by the House. So House people who already passed the legislation, good. The people that need to have the letter is the senators. The letter should also be sent to the senators. Number 3, I don't like the context of the letter. The reason why Build Back Better Act needs to be passed is mentioned in the letter. And that part I don't think is on point. I'll feature more later in this recording. But the good news is that Build Back Better Act has an add-on. And while Build Back Better is not a law, this add-on is. $80,000 of stimulus checks are paying out everywhere. Every state, every city, every county. So how do you get it? You become a member and stay tuned to the second half of this video. I'll go over this incredible pot of money. It's $80,000. It's one of the biggest payouts we've ever seen in the history of the channel, and it's coming up. And I'll have the latest details on it, this map, and one success story from one viewer who got her application on file right away. But in the next 48 hours, we're going to see a major event, and you need to tune in for that. And what is that major event? It is the FOMC meeting. The March 2022 FOMC meeting starts Tuesday and ends on Wednesday. And on Wednesday, Jay Powell will give us his Fed minutes. We may get a hint of them tomorrow. That's why you want to tune into tomorrow's channel. Why? Because that will give you an indication of what Jay Powell's doing with inflation in April, and also the impact on your SS300. Let's go over the part of the analysis right now. SS300, 200 is dependent upon inflation, and Jay Powell will give us his policy advisory Tuesday and Wednesday for inflation. At the time of this recording, March 14th, 2022, we already know what Jay Powell, your head of the Federal Reserve, this guy, will be doing with inflation for the month of March. Let's go over the analysis. Joe Biden, during his run for president and in his presidential platform, vows to replace COLA with inflation. You want COLA to be replaced with inflation now, when inflation is at its highest price point of a generation. 8% December, 8% for January, as predicted by this channel since last year. The CPI number released last Thursday shows us for January we came in at 8%. So what is it for February? We don't know just yet. What is Jay Powell doing for the month of March? We do know. He's doing a quarter basis point. What's at issue? Joe Biden needs to swap out COLA for inflation now, because currently we're at the highest levels for the month of January. We're currently at the highest levels for the month of February, we believe, but we don't know just yet. And what about March? Here's the equation. Jay Powell, head of the Federal Reserve, will have 5 meetings in the next 5 months. The first one is tomorrow and Wednesday, the March FOMC meeting. And we already know what he's doing then. He's doing a quarter basis point, the lesser of two evils. That's fine. If Joe Biden makes a swap from COLA to inflation this month, March, or in April. Why is it fine for April? Because whatever Jay Powell does for March, it won't float into the economy until about a month later. So Joe Biden is fine swapping COLA for inflation now in March or early April. It's what happens thereafter. We don't know what Jay Powell is doing in the month of April. And if Jay Powell comes in at a half basis point for April, then you have to hope that Joe Biden makes a swap to COLA for inflation before mid to late April, because guess what? Inflation is coming down quickly in May. This is why it's very important to make that pivot right across the board. And where is the situation right at the time of today's recording? We have breaking news on this front as well. Jay Powell has several indicators, and the indicators are suggesting he may have to come in more aggressively in April. Number one, the CPI number last Thursday, 8%. Number two, the central bank head, Christine Lagarde, came in on Thursday saying for European community, inflation is a little bit too strong. So he sees that indicator. Moreover, this breaking news. At the time of this broadcast, just short before 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, March 14th, 2022, the 10-year Treasury note surging again. What's going on? On Friday, the 10-year Treasury note surged up. The bond traders surged it up because they think inflation is actually hotter. They're surging it up another 2% right today at the time of this recording to its highest price point of July 2019. It's at 2.08% right now at the time of this live broadcast. The bond traders think that inflation's hotter than the Thursday number last week. So if it's hotter, Jay Powell may say, this is too hot. We may have to come in with a policy advisory for April of a half basis point, not quarter basis point. Translation for you and your money, Joe Biden needs to swap out COLA for inflation now, or at least later this month, no later than early April, because early April, we don't know what Jay Powell is going to do. And if Jay Powell comes in more aggressively for the month of April at that FOMC meeting, boy. So when would we first hear that April advisory? In April? No. You may give guidance, or at least words of guidance, in the next 24 hours. So tune into this channel if you're watching for this SS300 equation tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday, at which Jay Powell may give us advisory of what he's doing with inflation in April. Remember, this is how it works. Your benefits are tied to a benchmark. The current benchmark is COLA. Swapping out for inflation means that once you're locked into the inflation rate, you are locked in. Let's go part of the equation right now. If Joe Biden made the swap out from COLA to inflation right today, you'd lock in 8% right now, raising your benefits about $200 a month. Not just this month, not just this year, but a lifetime. That's how it works. If Joe Biden waits to swap out COLA after Jay Powell, swap out inflation after Jay Powell has reduced it, let's say, to 6%, you lose money on the equation. You want the swap to happen right now. Later this year, they reassess your benefits again. And that will give you another $100. But you want to get the $200 right now, that will give you $300 a lifetime. That is where we are on this equation. Next, CR for stimulus. CR for stimulus got a fascinating twist last week. When the CR passed, but it did not have a $2,000 stimulus check in there, but had county stimulus in there. Reach out to your local counties because lots of counties got county stimulus in there. Joe Biden this week will be coming back for CR for stimulus 2.0. I don't know what to call it. Replay, the remix edition. What is he doing? The president was unhappy that his money for COVID did not get into the CR. So its press secretary Jen Psaki says we need that money, and we need to move, we can't have money moving around to move it. Our assessment, we need additional funding. So the White House is vowing to come back with another piece of legislation this week that potentially could have a $2,000 stimulus check if we push, and could potentially have other stimulus in this as well. For now, the original CR passed last week has county stimulus in there across the board. Meantime, in the second half of this video, we'll be looking at the $80,000 of checks. Incredible, great news. It's live, it's everywhere, it's nationwide, and it's for you. And we'll go over that incredible map and how to get these monies if you're a member. If you're not a member, become a member right at the time of watching this video. Then we'll be turning to, we got to roll our eyes. Everyone at the same time. Roll our eyes. Here we go. China? Yeah. 6 stimulus is heating up because of China, and I'm not happy to report this news to you. This is not good news, folks. It may be good news for your wallet, but it's not good news for our country and our economy and our young men. Because guess what? China could be pivoting diplomatically on the Russian-Ukrainian equation and economically as well. And this is all 6 stimulus and staying out of a potential recession. It's coming up after the commercial break. It's breaking news, and boy, it is shocking news like you have never seen your socks shocked over out off your feet. It's coming up in the second half, plus the big money for third stimulus still available. The toast is toasting and the butter is buttering, but what's China doing? I'll go over that in the second half of this video. But first, here's a little bit about the commercial, about the community page. See you back in 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues. We are shopping up. One of those days. Let's get a little bit of audio. Does that clear us up? I don't know. We're going in the second half. Let's see if we clear up. Morning's LA goes in the second half, and let's see if the audio clears up in just a second. In the second half, we're going to go over the big sums of money heating up that $80,000 program, and then we'll be looking at the situation unfolding with recession. Meantime, what's happening with China? A major developing details that could change the situation for 6 stimulus. And then, what do you need to know about those $80,000 of checks? Hopefully the audio will clear up before you get your checks. It's a big recording, and we're just heating up with the big second half of Mornings LA, direct from the shores of Santa Monica, California, and we'll be looking at that letter of the Build Back Better Act and what it means to you. All those details and more as we go into a second half, where the audio will hopefully clear up. I don't know. It's one of those days. And there we go. Wow, what a day it is. And here, let's look at the equation right now and the incredible situation for those $80,000 of checks across the land. $80,000 of checks are heating up. And we're that... The audio is still there. You know, the audio will clear up, but we can't have everything in a universe in which maybe China did it. Okay, here we go. $80,000 of checks went live, and those $80,000 of checks are incredible, great news. They are part of a brand new program that went live 2 Fridays ago. And you only heard on this channel what happened. The President of the United States rolled out a new program with $80,000 of checks, what I call fourth stimulus add-on or fourth stimulus ancillary. It's law, and unlike Build Back Better Act, it's paying out. Those incredible sums of money are happening. And what happened? Let's take a step back 2 weeks ago and see what happened. What happened? On a particular Friday 2 weeks ago, the President of the United States announced a rollout of a new program where $80,000 of checks are being paid out. It's the homeowners grant. And incredible sums of money are available right now. Here's what you need to know. Those incredible sums of money are part of a program that rolled out nationwide last Monday. And they are paying out. So what do you need to know? Let's go over the details starting right now. And the audio will clear up in just a second. Sorry about that. First, it is nationwide. Number 2, it is $15,000 to $80,000 per household. Number 2. Number 3, the income qualification is just like a third stimulus check. Single individuals, $75,000 less, you get it. $150,000 less, you get it, double it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, or veterans benefits, you can get it as well if you're within the income qualifications. It's called the Homeowners Grant on this channel, and it's live, and it's paid out nationwide. Let's go over the details of what you need to know starting right now. When you're looking at the program, the great news is that this is real money. It's actually live. It's actually $15,000 to $80,000 of household money. If you've watched third or fourth stimulus, you've often seen where checks are doubled. This is not doubled. So it's $15,000 to $80,000 across the land. So you don't double it, you don't quadruple it at all. Those sums of money are huge, and you want to get them right now. Let's cue up some music. Let's see if that clears it up. Did it clear it up? It didn't. Okay, well, we tried. Here's what you need to know, is that the incredible program is funded by the federal government, launched nationwide, and in every single county, city, and state across the union. The program announced by the White House 2 Fridays ago was not covered in broadcast media, so you do not see it anywhere. It only was covered on this channel. And now the program is paying out. A week ago this Monday, it went live in some states. And here's what you need to know. First, it pays for homeowners items like property insurance, association fees, rental, association fees, utilities, mortgages, and more. It's not for renters, it's for homeowners. For renters, I have the money for you later in this video from third stimulus. The program is live across the nation, but I want you to understand the following, that you need to apply for the money right now. You can't wait for the money. The money is available nationwide in different corridors and different elements. Let's start with analysis. If you're in a teal state like California, Arizona, or Florida, that means it is accepting applications right now and paying on the applications. If you're in states like Ohio, Montana, and Mississippi, it's pink. It means it's accepting applications but not paying that now. And if you're in states like Idaho and Utah, it means it's about to accept the money. Here's what you need to know. Number 1, it is $80,000 of checks. Number 2, you qualify for it. Go get it. Number 3, do not wait. Every state has the program. So why are some states rolling out before others? It's much like pandemic unemployment assistance. On day 1 of this channel, April 25th, I told viewers to apply. Do not wait. If you're in Ohio and your state is pink, do not wait to turn to green, because Ohio is taking the applications today. When it turns to green or teal, they will pay you out that day. Yes, you want to get your application on file. It's first come, first serve. They do the applications that order received, so you don't want to wait to switch from gray to pink or pink to teal. You want to get the application on file. Moreover, if you have a question mark about whether to apply, don't wait, just apply. Mobile home. What type of mobile home? I don't know if I should apply. Apply. Moreover, don't overthink the equation. Don't think, well, I don't know. Just go apply. How do you apply? Here we go. You want to go into this video and become a member. The link is under the video at the top of the chat as well. Become a member and get the details delivered directly to you via the membership newsletter. The membership newsletter first detailed this day 1, last Friday, 2 Fridays ago. As soon as the White House announced it, I rolled it out to my members. in the membership newsletter. The membership newsletter, at the top of the membership newsletter, mentions the whole program's name. It's not called the Homeowners Grant. It's a longer name. Number 2, features the money. Number 3, features the eligibility. Number 4, features how to apply for it. It gives you the link to go right in to apply for it. And finally, it features all the elements you need to know to get the sums of money. It is the membership newsletter. Where is it delivered? Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, via the YouTube alert system to you. The YouTube alert system is the alert system that sends you an alert from YouTube when a new video goes live. So you got an alert that this video went live with the bad audio, which will hopefully clear up in just a second. Then you got that alert. That alert, Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, sends you an alert of the membership newsletter. It's in the YouTube alert. It's not a PDF. It's not by email. It's not by lobsters. It's not by waivable checks. There you go. Become a member today to get that incredible newsletter. And yes, it's featured in every newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, across the board. Let's cue some audio. Does that clear us up? It does not. We tried. Let's cue up some other audio. Maybe that will clear us up. And does that clear us up? I think it did. Testing. I think it cleared us. Did it clear us up? It did clear us up. Oh, there we go. It did clear us up. So back into that $80,000 a grant. You want to become a member today. The membership newsletter link is under the video. Become a member today to get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, the YouTube alert system. Features the $80,000 grant in there, features the link, features the name, features the application details, features everything you need to know about the grant. Become a member today and get that newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, sent via the YouTube alert system to you. Not sent by email, not sent by PDF, not sent by lobsters, and not sent by waivable check. There we go. Now let's turn to success stories when we're looking at these $8,000 a grant, and the success story comes in from one viewer. Let's look at the graphic now that the audio is cleared up. Here we go. This is Beatrice. Congratulations, Beatrice. She says, I listened to LALATE and I applied for the homeowners stimulus. It was not difficult at all. I applied successfully. They said, thank you. I'll let you know what happens. I'm in Texas. So they have the homeowners grant program. In fact, they have the homeowners grant program everywhere. But in the case of Texas, they are receiving the application and and paying out. Here, let's look at the graphic again. If you're in Ohio, they're receiving your application but not paying today. If you're in California, they're receiving it and paying it out today. If you're in a gray state, they're about to receive the application. So why is the state gray not pink, and why is it pink not green or teal? Here's the takeaway. Number one, every state will be paying. They just pay in different rollouts because they have different computer systems. California, Texas, Florida have modern computer systems. They've revamped their computer systems. And so they were able to roll it out to pay you faster than West Virginia, where the computer systems are run by being powered by Joe Manchin's Maserati. That's why the computer systems in West Virginia are gray. They're slow. Sort of like his Maserati. There you go. So understand the money's available everywhere. Go get it. Become a member. The membership link is under the video. Now, later in this video, I'm going to show you third stimulus. Third stimulus is available for homeowners and renters. So if you're watching this video, say, I'm a renter, there's no money for you. Untrue. You got third stimulus. And overnight, we had another success story on that front as well. It's perfect timing that the audio's cleared up because now I can deliver you bad news. It's at this point in the video that everyone wants to roll their eyes at the same time. So get ready. Let's all roll our eyes. Really? Yeah. And what are we rolling our eyes about? China. As if we didn't have anything else to deal with. Now comes China. Sixth stimulus is China. And why is sixth stimulus part of the China equation? Let me tell you the details right now. Overnight, China took a major turn in the world events in a way I and no one saw coming. Let me tell you the history of sixth stimulus, and then let me tell you what happened with China. Sixth stimulus is Putin stimulus. First stimulus was COVID. Second was to be COVID. They never became law. Third stimulus, Past was coming out of COVID. Fourth stimulus, Build Back Better, coming out of COVID. Fifth stimulus is for seniors and people on benefits. That is that SSI reform, SSDI reform. Is that still happening? It will still happen. That is their stimulus package. Sixth stimulus is Putin-caused stimulus. First, before we go into six stimulus, let me explain something if you're new to this channel. When I number things, it's not to say one has to happen before two. It's just to keep them separate. So, third, fourth, and sixth will be happening at the same time. Currently, third and fourth are happening at the same time. Six will be added part of the equation. What is it? To think of it in most basic forms, it is to keep our economy out of recession and keep our partner countries out of recession because of Vladimir Putin. To think of it more basically, it's stimulus because of oil. Then to think of it more detailed, which is really what it is, it's to keep all the economies out of recession because of everything that Putin has caused. Oil shortage, wheat, grain, commodity shortage, banking industry potential implosion, and now something else. China. Okay, here we go. Get ready for the bombshell of the moment. Currently, the Russia-Ukraine invasion is a Russia-Ukraine war. But could it be a Russia-Ukraine-China war? U.S. intelligence released overnight and obtained by LALATE News suggests that Vladimir Putin has reached out to China for two types of help. One, help with a war. Oh, yeah, military help. Number two, help economically. Translation, Putin wants China to bail out Russia for our sanctions. Oh, does he dare? Yeah, he does dare. He's asking China to give Russia bailout economically to offset our sanctions against him. How sweet of him. Here's part of the equation. Throughout all this endeavors, these last 3 weeks of this invasion, China has stayed neutral. Is China likely to do this? Well, let me tell you what's going on. Over the weekend, one of the stories I could have run, but I didn't, was China's economy is shrinking because of a major new threat domestically. What is it? COVID surge wave number 6. China's currently enduring a wave 6 of COVID, and because of it, its economy may shrink, nearly only 5% growth this year. This was going to be the story I was going to report to you this morning, which I am now, that your economy being negatively impacted because of supply chain, because China cannot export because of COVID again. They're in a major potential lockdown because of a 6th wave. This could impact all your supply chain issues we covered late last year once again. That could send us into inflation bigger than ever thought before. But I did not expect to record this video today, which is that China is meeting with the White House right now. Where? In Rome. The White House is meeting with China in a major emergency meeting to say, do not bail out Vladimir Putin's economy and do not get involved with this war. At the time of this recording, China's top diplomat Zhang Xin is meeting with U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan in Rome right now. The meeting is to ensure that China does not economically help Russia to offset our sanctions, and China does not give military assistance to Russia to invade Ukraine. To do so means that China would open itself up to substantial sanctions from the United States and make itself a pariah. To refuse to would open the possibility of at least selective cooperation with the United States and the West, says Richard Haass, president of the Council of Foreign Relations, in a new statement today. Moreover, Sullivan has said to reporters in the last few hours that this is a major concern across the board. By using diplomatic outreach to Beijing, the U.S. will be able to lay the groundwork. What's the takeaway? It's horrible. It's a very bad situation. If China does give economic relief to Russia, bailing out Russia, any type of economic relief to offset our sanctions, guess what happens? We sanction Russia, we sanction China. And if we sanction China, a much larger economy than Venezuela, Iran, Iraq, even larger than Russia, then what happens? We set ourselves up for a major recession. So let's go over why this is part of the 6th stimulus analysis. Before China was even part of the equation, just dealing with Putin and his economic fallout, we have a 6th stimulus package. Let's go over 6th stimulus package. What is 6th stimulus package? 6th stimulus package is what happened no less than 2 weeks ago. The United States reached out to Germany and also France, our partner allies, saying you need to get off of Russian products. Initially, Germany said no because it doesn't have a backup ready. Then Germany said, okay, morally, you're right. We have to get off of Russian products. The only problem is Germany saw the solution, and the solution is what we call six stimulus. The solution for Germany, France, and the United States, Macron, Biden, and Haas, all progressives, is to increase domestic debt spending in Germany, France, and the United States and send out a stimulus package to its citizens, because no citizen can afford current price of gasoline or the economies of those countries go into recession. Now, let's go over the equation and where we are right now at the time of this recording. First, it starts with the concept of oil, the easiest one of the equation. We have to solve the oil situation in the United States for us, and our partner allies have to solve their part of the oil equation as well. If we only solve our part of the economy for the oil equation domestically, but we let our countries like Germany, France, and Italy go under, we go under right after them. We can't prevent recession in the United States if we don't prevent recession for our partner allies, because guess what? They will bring us into recession. If they go into recession because they have oil instability, we go into recession. So we have to work as a team. Here's the problem. No one is doing anything. Tonight on Evenings LA in primetime, Evenings LA at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I will tell you why the White House has done nothing, and this is very troubling. Why? The analysis is very simple. The current gas price is not sustainable for more than 8 more weeks. It's actually now less than 8 weeks, till May. If they continue at the current level, we go into recession. So the White House has to pivot very quickly. Today, the national average went down a little bit, 435 to 432, not a lot. And the price of oil went down to 106, down 6%. But that's not what's at issue. The White House has to increase domestic production of gasoline here in the States to offset the price of gasoline at the pump. Does not, we go into recession. White House hasn't done it. Number two, the White House has to get our partner allies off of their oil consumption from Russia. The White House has not done that either. And overnight, you've seen the telling toll. It'll be featured tonight on Evenings LA in prime time, but here's a preview. Venezuela, not part of the equation. White House is not looking to relieve the sanctions upon Venezuela and get more of the gasoline in here. So they're gone. Iraq, OPEC Plus has said Iraq is not increasing production. White House has not gotten OPEC to increase production. And guess what? Putin's reached out to OPEC Plus saying, he's actually part of OPEC Plus, and saying, do not ramp up production, help the United States. 1 point for Putin. Number two, Iran. The Iranian nuclear agreement talks ended on Sunday. If you watched Evenings LA last night, I had the details. Tonight I'll have it again. Those Iranian nuclear deal agreements ended. They're done. They stopped. Guess why? Putin. Point two for Putin. He told Iran, don't come to a deal with the United States. And they didn't. So there will be no Iranian oil in our system or our partner allies. What's left? We're running out of opportunity to get oil to our partner allies. And if they wait around, the situation can get worse. At issue, Vladimir Putin has threatened, you push me too far, I will turn off oil to Nord Stream 1 that funnels and pays and provides gasoline to Germany. Germany could wake up one morning and have no gasoline because Vladimir Putin turned off 40% of their gasoline. Is anything ready to deal with that? No. Has the White House dealt with anything else that's on the forefront? No. The wheat, grain, soybean, corn issue floating out of control. Why? Because the major producer of wheat in that region of Europe and Eastern Europe is Ukraine. And those Ukrainians in the Black Sea region cannot tender the crops because they're defending their country. So the crop is lost this season. Next year's crop is lost as well. It's not being prepared because they're defending their country. And crops could be lost for years to come. A shortage of wheat and grain, even though we produce it domestically, drives up prices. As viewers in the live chat have said, I've noticed that the wheat and grain prices are going up. Bread is going up in the supermarket. That's because no one is trying to do anything about this. What can the White House do? I'll feature tonight on Evenings LA what the White House can do to solve the commodity shortage. Isn't doing this as well. Number three, the banking industry is where I get most concerned because the exposure for U.S. banks to Russian equities and bonds is still unknown, and we won't know it for 2 more quarters. And If U.S. banks have major losses because they closed out valueless investments in a Russian economy which is about to fall into a Cuba zone, yes, become valueless, then our banking industry could go under as well. Any preparation for this from the White House? None at all. So very, very confusing. Now, let's go back to that Build Back Better Act. I told you I was going to have commentary, not fact, but commentary, starting right now. A letter obtained by LALATE News this morning, you're hearing for the first time on Mornings LALATE Live, is this letter. Why do I have problems with the letter? The problems I have with the letter is the content. It's just all wrong. The letter basically says, Mr. President, pass Build Back Better because we need to do climate. Lord, this is really part of the equation of what's wrong at the current point with U.S. legislators. Climate needs to be fixed. I got it. Climate is not going to be sending us into recession. The inability of Congress and the White House and the United States leadership to solve energy, which is gasoline, ramping up production, to solve commodity shortage, which is farmers, increasing production, which is also the banking industry, ensuring that our banks do not go under because of exposure to Russian debt and Russian equities not being addressed by any of these people. You know what? I don't need them to be economists, but I need them to think logically. Stop thinking about an electric vehicle that's $50,000 and no one can afford. Think about the current situation. You got 6 weeks to work here, folks. 6 weeks. Solve it. If not, we go into recession, 2 years. And guess what? All these leaders will be gone if we're in a recession. No one's going to look at these people and say, oh, you helped me because you sent me in a recession. Recession is a very bad environment, and it's not anything anyone wants to have. So let's go into the third part of this recording, third stimulus. Thank goodness. Third stimulus is available, and it is still paying out. It is rent and it's homeowners assistance. So that $8,000 of checks paid out, which you need to apply for right now, become a member. The link is on the video on the top of the chat. Get that membership newsletter. That's for homeowners, that $8,000 of checks. The third stimulus is for homeowners and renters. We just had a hysterical day yesterday where viewers are like $80,000 for homeowners grant. So can I get it as a renter? No, it's homeowners. Well, I'm renting to own, and I hope to own like in 3 years from now. No, it's for homeowners now. Don't overthink this. When it says homeowners, it means homeowners. When I say third stimulus is renters and homeowners, yeah, that's you. Go get it. So where do you get it? First, a success story. Another success story. I'm so proud of you as viewers. Here is Brian Graves overnight. In the evening's LA broadcast last night in prime time, he said, hey, I'm from Toledo, Ohio, and I got homeowners assistance from third stimulus. I got 8 months of rent just the other day. He got 8 months of rent. So, if rent is $1,500, that's about $10,000. Wow, incredible. Another $10,000 success story just this week, and that was last night. Thank you for all you do, Purple Hawk, Purple Power. Congratulations. So where do you get this money for rent? Let's open the newsletter. It's in the membership newsletter. And the details I'm going to go over with you right now. You're going to reach out to 6 places: your city hall, your city house authority, your county hall, your county house authority. And the keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID, mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID. 3 things you must do. You must get multiple applications on file. You must do multiple rounds, and you must also reach out to those nonprofits. Those nonprofits really pick up lots of sums of money that viewers forget to think about. Open that membership newsletter. It's featured in the membership newsletter. For example, the nonprofits, they do home repairs. So don't wait for just $80,000 to get the home repairs. Get it from the nonprofits. The membership newsletter, which I hope you remember if you're not going to this video right today, features the $80,000 of the homeowners grant checks, which the stimulus checks you want to get, and features all this big money for third stimulus. Why would you not become a member? Become a member today and get all this incredible details in the newsletter Monday through Friday via the YouTube alert system. The average viewer of this channel is getting about $45,000, so get these big sums of money right today. Do it. Tonight on Evenings LA in prime time at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and 7 Central. We go over all this breaking news, folks, and boy, you have never seen a broadcast like tonight's show. You do not want to miss it. After you get this big money for third stimulus and get your application on file for the $80,000, tune into tonight's broadcast. Number 1, we'll be going over more about that new letter from the Congress to the White House about Build Back Better Act. We'll be going over more about those $80,000 of checks now live. We'll be going over the CR that could get another round at the pony ride from the president with a new introduction of legislation this week. We'll be looking at the SS300 equation because in less than 24 hours from now, Jay Powell will give us his indication, his guidance for the month of April. You remember, you want to swap out COLA for inflation right now. And then we'll be looking at 6 stimulus, Putin's stimulus, with countries like Iran, Iraq, Venezuela being removed from the equation. What are our partner allies going to do, and why is the White House not solving the situation? I'll go over what the White House needs to do to solve the situation. It's a lot to go over, and it's tonight in prime time. I look forward to you then. But next, join me live on air at noontime for Home LALATE and the latest details of what's happening economically for you and overseas for Ukraine. It's the I Stand With Ukraine edition, big money, and we'll see what's happening with that Rome meeting. Maybe we'll have the latest details on that Rome meeting between the U.S. delegation and China. I'm watching it attentively. It's happening right now. A lot of breaking details on the hour by the hour. I thank you for your patronage. See you at 11 a.m. for Home LALATE, and join me tonight in prime time. Sorry about that audio early in the video, but we work through it as a family, and we work through this as a team every day, every minute, and every hour. Stay in front of stay focused, stay here with LALATE, and stay with LALATE for more across the board.